The second segment, she used the murder of Emmett Till in 1954 as an example of how this gender harassment has impacted not only people in the United States, but also people in schools and everywhere else. And so we would like to now have you to talk about, Alana, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, because I think that somehow you've tied this organization in with the Emmett Till murder. Let's talk about it from that perspective.
Well, the NAACP was, let's say, made in 1914, which was 2 years after the Titanic sank in 1912. So this group, nobody knew about it. The NAACP, which stood for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, was just a group of African Americans, and they only had one white member when it first joined. So they all got together and they decided, we're going to end segregation. This is what we're going to do. And I think Martin Luther King was an active member of the NAACP, and he held protests with his wife, Coretta Scott King, and they joined together. They joined forces to make a big global international wave of we're going to end segregation, and you are not going to stop us. This kind of theme.
Okay, and so the NAACP, now finally you indicated that gender harassment is also international, and there's a very, very important international event that people generally talk about now, and this is Coney 2012. What do you know about that, and how would you fit that into what we call gender harassment? We've got about 7 to 8 minutes on this last segment to talk about this very, very important international event.
Well, considering 98% of the world does not know who Joseph Kony is or Kony 2012, I'm going to explain to you what Kony 2012 is and how it is affect Ugandan children in northern Uganda. Okay, so say you live in Uganda, you have a regular life, and a man in the middle of the night comes to your house and he snatches you, and he takes you. If you're a girl, you will become a sex slave. And if you're a boy, you will become a child soldier who kills your own parents and goes around killing random Ugandan people. Imagine that ever happened to you. Well, that's what happened to over 33,000 children in northern Uganda. So, okay, so Joseph Kony, who reportedly died in 2005, he's the head leader of the LRA, which is the group that steals children from their homes in Uganda, and they take them and they make them either sex slaves or children soldiers. Now, Joseph Kony doesn't do this for any certain reason, and he's not supported by anybody. But the thing is, he uses I'm gonna stop this, and he uses peace to get more people to be on his side, and then he just turns around and goes back to his old ways. Now, Joseph Kony, who is an African man from Uganda. He just decided that he's going to take these children and nobody's going to stop them. But there is this organization, Invisible Children Incorporated, who made this Kony 2012 video, which has got over 83 million views on YouTube. So what the video talks about is how Jason, who was one of the leaders of the Invisible Children, he has a son, Gavin. And Gavin grows up in this world of all these technical devices and all of this technical things. And so he has to explain to his son that he does all this stuff, and he even kidnaps children like Gavin, who was a Caucasian 6-year-old boy. So he has to explain this to his own son and to face the scary reality of the world, what the world has become. Because Gavin is the new generation of the world. He is the future of the world, just like I am and just like you are. We are all the new generation of the world. So he has to explain to his son how this is all happening, and he has this, it just breaks my heart to watch this video, to watch him turn these boys into troops, and to watch these girls be sexually abused and sexually harassed, and that's how it ties in with gender harassment in the arena.
And so in a real sense, this Kony and Emmett Till and all of those things come together. As far as you're concerned, and all of them indicates gender harassment, In a real sense, they are international. They cover all races, all grounds, and et cetera. And in a real sense, it demonstrates again what we might call man's inhumanity to man. Is that essentially what you're saying? Now, when we talk about that, all of these, but how would you see this as a solution? I mean, how can you tell your peers, the people that are in the 4th grade and the 5th grade, in reference to some of the things that are on your mind, and what would you suggest to them that they do in order to fight against this gender harassment and international harassment?
Well, on December 31st is when Invisible Children is going to take down the Cody 2012 video and Cody 2012 2, Beyond Famous. Now, they're going to take down this video, and on December 31st, that night, they're going to go around every city in every state in the U.S. and get Cody 2012 posters and Cody 2012 packets, which have 2 wristbands, one to give away and one for herself, and Cody 2012 shirts and hats. And their sign is the peace sign, which is 2 fingers, your 2 first fingers, and they're going to go around until the sun comes up. They're going to post Cody 2012 videos. So that Friday night, you're going to go to sleep and you're going to wake up with Cody 2012 pasted and graffitied all over your shops or all over your house, because they're going to make you see how terrible the world is going to be if you don't act now. And I'm going to take it upon myself to go down there and join the party, and I'm going to help put around these posters, because I feel that if I do this, that it's gonna change some Ugandan girl or boy's life, and that's my main objective, to help somebody at least stay alive, because a boy in Uganda who was one of Coney's slaves, he stated that he'd rather die than still be on Earth, and that just saddened me, because he would rather die than be in this army, because it is that terrible that he would commit suicide to get away from this. And his brother was also killed by Coney, so he'd want to be with his brother and reunite in heaven. So he'd rather die than be on here and face this.
You know, Alana, you mentioned something that I've not heard before, that there's some rumors that Coney is no longer alive. I mean, where did you get that information, that he was killed in 2505?
Well, on YouTube, on the 2022 video, I was looking at the YouTube comments, and one user said that that the video is all fake, that Coney died in 2005, and it had 157 likes, which means 157 people agreed with what he just said. So I just kind of sat there in my chair, and I was like, how does that even matter? So what if Coney's dead? The LRA is nowhere near dead, and hopefully I will see each one of the LRA members, each one of them in jail for life, for sexual trafficking, for prostituting these young girls, and for making these boys kill their own parents, themselves.
And you saw some evidence on the videos that indicated that that was what he was doing. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. And how strongly influenced by that have you been?
I'm grateful that I'm protected, and that I'm not in Uganda and having to worry about every night, having to worry about, should I go to sleep, or should I just run away, or should I just die? It really hurts me that you have to go through that. And my objective is going to stop that. And hopefully, if you're viewing this right now, hopefully you're going to help me with that too, because I honestly just think of the Ugandan children and think of what they have to suffer through every night. They can't sleep without knowing they're probably going to die the next day. They can't eat because they're too poor to eat, and Joseph County doesn't feed them. They don't have clothes to wear because all they have is an army uniform. So.
Okay, and so Alana, let me thank you for that excellent information you've given us in reference to gender harassment nationally as well as international. And let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and
good morning.